Hello and a very warm welcome back to the Boiler Room. Now, did you know that approximately 800,000 Kenyans join the labor market each year, only to find the harsh reality that there are no jobs? Only 50,000 get jobs. What happens to the 750,000? Coming up on the Boiler Room, finally gotten a chance to meet our investors.
I'm here seeking a 5 million investment for a 20% stake in my company. Now, what this does is this permanently remains next to your sink. You don't touch it. The ones that currently exist come in different flavors, and that's why customers like it.
You have in the supermarket, how much is it going for?
It's a startup right now. I'm here seeking funding.
So your idea needs a bit of, just checking it around and making it more clear.
We are seeking the 1.5 million because we want to supply immediate for like 450 units.
Mm-hmm. How are you going to sell it? How are you going to get it to the market?
I'm an aggressive marketer.
Okay.
I believe in myself.
Me as an investor,
Yeah.
I will look at it in the long run.
Yeah.
I don't want to give you money after the first investment. You give me back my money. I'm not a bank.
You need to go back to the drawing board and explore the possibilities about doing local manufacturing and seeing if that's feasible.
Essentially what we're looking for the money to do is the one we've got the electronics deal.
Yeah, the hardware business is a tough business. I mean, I'm an investor in one of the largest computer retailers in the country right now. For now, I'm out until you rework your numbers and develop some more clarity.
Considering last time I got a yes, today I've come guns blazing. So I'm hoping the investors see my product, they love it, see its potential, and invest in me. It's a yes for the day.
Finally gotten a chance to meet our investors. Can you tell me about Swash, your company Swash?
Swash is a soap dispenser that uses a disposable bottle,
All right.
as opposed to manually filling them. So the whole idea is channeled towards residential people.
Okay.
As
And I've
opposed to
seen you've
commercial.
invested a lot in that.
Yes, I believe a good presentation would give me an upper hand.
All right. And how much are you looking for?
5 million for 20%.
Wow. I'd like to confirm if our investors are willing to meet you.
Thank you so much, Isaac. We are looking forward to hearing from you.
Okay.
Go.
My name is Isaac Orwa, and my company is Swash. I'm here seeking a 5 million investment for a 20% stake in my company. Now, for centuries, the bathroom accessories, especially when it comes to hand wash, have always remained the same. We have bar soaps. I would love to show you. We've always had bar soaps, which we put on these soap dishes, which for you to use the bar soap, you either have to touch water and touch the bar soap, which leaves this slimy. So we find this is really not good to use. The other option, which is currently available in the market, is the use of these portable dispensers, which are manually filled, and the good thing about them is they have quite a different variety. And from studies is that liquid hand soap is overtaking bar soaps when it comes to hand wash. So these come in different flavors, and that's why most of our most customers love to use this. But today I would love to introduce a new option we would use as opposed to this, that would leave our sinks clean and neat. So if you don't mind, Carol, I would love to have you as an and use you. You don't mind?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Swash is a soap dispenser that has two options of mounting. You can either use screw or adhesive, but in this case, we are going to do adhesive for today.
Okay.
So all you need to do is just peel this off. You can peel the second one.
Okay.
So what you do is choose a spot on your sink, any area around the washroom, and you stick this. Now what this does is this permanently remains next to your sink. You don't touch it. Part of the accessory that comes with it is this option that is just easy to attach on that. Now what we are going to make available on retail is to pack soaps. Currently we will start with 3 different flavors in different for our customers. So what you do is, all you do is just screw this, and the mechanism of this breaks the seal, releasing the contents into this. And all you do is just mount it back right there. So this will eliminate the whole option of leaving our sinks dirty. So all you need to do is just come, press it, use it, and you're good to go. Press it, use it.
Thank you, Isaac.
Would love you to join me in enhancing the washroom experience.
Very interesting.
I believe there's so many other products in the market that do the same thing. I know of a company called Rent-A-Kill
Yes.
that provide the same service.
What they do, they offer it as a manually filled one. It's manually filled. It's not disposable like this one. Those ones you see the industry, what happens is, the ones that currently exist come in different flavors, and that's why customers like it. But you find that these different flavors are not readily available in bulk, so that rental customers can have this, residential can have this, so that they can keep manually filling it when it's done. That's the challenge that the current soap companies have. Either they'll do it in one, but this option we are offering different flavors. So if you did strawberry with this, because we are planning to roll out in 3 flavors, strawberry, and then lavender and apple. So if you did strawberry this time, you can just unscrew it, either recycle that bottle or throw it away, and you go to the retail shop and just buy the other one, just screw it back on.
In my own idea, don't you think it's going to be expensive? Because the cost of producing even the plastic, the container, is an additional cost.
Okay, what happens is, I've talked to a few manufacturers about this. Cost of manufacturing this from China would cost me 400 bob.
400 shillings?
Per.
The dispenser.
The dispenser.
Plus the soap. That's until I bring it right here. Plus the soap. So I've walked around with it, shown it to some women, because this falls around next to these chamas. We have these groups called chamas, so I've visited a few and asked them. Most of them were into the idea that they would pay an average of about 1,500 to 2,000 for it.
Shillings?
Yes.
For the dispenser?
For the dispenser and the soap.
Okay.
Yes.
And how much would a refill?
The refill will be 200 shillings. Yes. So the refill. So once you buy the dispenser, now that's permanently yours. All you need to now buy is the refill.
How many grams? The refill?
It's 400 grams, 400 ml.
How much, like what you have in the supermarket, how much is it going for? The other one?
It goes between 200 and 225, 225 to 230.
You say the mounting is a permanent?
We have 2 options. Now currently, because we are entering a market where, if you look at the real estate right now, most people are already staying in their houses. And I looked at the option of most of them might not want to punch walls on them. So that's why they came up with the adhesive one. Now the future of this is that the developers who are developing homes, I would have conversations with them, then this would come as part of an accessory for the houses.
Is it an existing product in the market yet?
It exists as a manually filled one, not as
your product.
What?
I'm talking of Swash.
Currently, Swash not yet. It's a startup right now. I'm here seeking funding because it's a bit capital intensive. That's why I haven't managed to.
So why do you need 5 million?
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
5 million would start me up with building a mold. So after I build a mold, I would be able to acquire my first products, and that would cost me about 2 million, and I'd use the rest of the money to sell it.
So you build the mold for the bottles?
Build the mold that would build this now, the whole dispenser.
The
What do you mean?
So how did you get this?
The mold, this is just a prototype.
Okay.
It's just a prototype.
You built it?
You bit
Pardon? Yes. This
locally?
Yes, locally. So what I did after building it, I talked to a manufacturer. They gave me a rough estimate of around 900,000 to build the mold. And then a piece of this they sell me at about 300. So by the time I calculate the cost of bringing it here would cost me around 400. I would retail this at about 1,899.
So that's a couple of million shillings. You bring the mold, bring some supplies in and stuff like that.
Yes.
So either 3 million, what is it for? But more importantly,
Yes.
you said you're looking for 5 million for 20% of your company?
Yes.
Meaning you're worth 25 million? Like just an idea is worth 25 million? Like money grows on trees?
No, not really.
Okay.
What I'm doing
maybe
is, the first year of operation, I'm planning to at least sell 250 of these per month. By the end of the year, I'm targeting 4,000. So by the end of that first year, I will have sold 4,000 pieces of this, which would have averaged me about 8 million. Now when I begin the second year, I will have already 4,000 customers I'm servicing as I acquire more. So it means every month, I'm averaging, one dispenser will be refilled once a month. So if I average that the beginning of the next year, the first month, I'll be selling now the liquid soap. I'm servicing the 4,000 as I try to acquire more. So I'm targeting again within the next the second year.
And how are you going to get these customers?
Okay, there are 3 ways I'm planning to do this. Yeah, stands like these, I would do them on retail. stand like this next to retail for demo purposes, because this product I've noticed, for it to work well and for customer to understand it.
You mean in the supermarkets?
In the supermarkets, that's one. I would do a website which you can buy online, and then I would do trade shows as well. Yes.
And the supermarkets, have you spoken to any supermarkets about this?
I talked to one of the major supermarkets. They told me they had to see a finished product
Which
of it.
supermarket?
Tuskys.
Did you give them the samples?
I only have one prototype functional right now, so I showed it to them. So for them to give me shelf space, they have to see a finished product and that kind of thing.
Because I believe for us as investors, we'll only put money when we are sure you've done proper market research and you're sure the product will sell.
Okay, let me revisit that question again, right? So as part of trying to find out who my customers would be, we have these local groups called chamas for women. So I've visited a couple of them, about 6 or 5 of them. So I actually had 5 prototypes. I lost all of them in the process of trying to, because all of them took them. So I have a list of about 120 customers who are just waiting for my product to come out there. So I've visited the people who...
The chamas are going to sell this? Or
No, not sell them. Chamas are groups that come together.
Yeah.
So they're just meeting groups. So I was there for a presentation.
But they're going to buy from you?
They're going to buy from me.
For me, I think it's a good idea. It's a good idea, but the thing is the market. Now, a normal hand wash will go as cheap as even 150, 120.
Exactly.
I buy.
Exactly.
I shop every day, so I know the prices of hand wash. And I don't think the larger market, the segmentation in the market, will go for buying that at 1,000. Have you said it's 1,000 shillings for the mold?
For the whole product, about 1,500.
1,500. Yeah. Now, if it's 1,500, a normal hand wash will take a month. So that means if he buys a normal hand wash at 150, it means it's for 1,500. It's a full year.
Okay.
Now the thing is, I think on the pricing, my only question and query is the marketing bit of it, and the input you need from us. Okay. I feel it's high, and the guarantee on sales, in my perspective.
Okay.
Maybe if you can work on that,
okay,
we can do something.
Allow me to address something you've mentioned concerning the market. Now, the middle class that's coming up, if you notice the houses are coming up right now, they're either master en suite, nice bathroom. No one would love a mess. Like, I used to stay with my mom before. She has a nice 3-bedroom house and it's master en suite. So she really hated the sink looking dirty. So this eliminates anything being next to the sink apart from the dispenser. So there's nothing else apart from you opening the sink and that. And I believe after talking to all these women, they share the same, because they don't want anything hanging next to the sink that's really not necessary there.
No, it's a good idea, but you see, I gave you an example. We've got companies like Rentokil and so many others, like we find in hotels and everywhere, where it is the mold is there. What they do once it's done, they just fill it up.
It's manually filled, but
which is much cheaper.
Much cheaper, yes.
You know what you're looking at in business as investors is the turnover.
The turnover.
It's not just about the product, but you see, we're business minded. Yes. It's all about making money for me and for you.
I understand.
Yeah.
You see, if you notice, these products, especially soap dispensers, they're not available for residentials. Now, the reason why they're commercialized is because these areas are trying to reduce their costs. That's why they would buy a whole bulk and just keep refilling it. But for me, I'm targeting the residentials who do not use this at all right now.
So is there a soap dispenser on the market right now like this for residential?
There's none. No one is using it right here now. There's no one.
But, you know, Steve's point is, one of the issues is that, you know, you can go in and buy a bottle of soap for 150 shillings.
Exactly. Which,
you know, if you're going to have to buy this one-off investment of 1,500, that's a whole year's supply of soap that somebody has to put down once.
Okay, the other advantage when I was thinking about this was, when you buy this, it's bundled with 2 soaps. The replaceable soaps.
Okay.
So it's bundled with 2. So it comes at an added advantage.
And this is going to be manufactured and packed in China and imported?
I was thinking the soap, I wanted to do it locally.
Okay.
The soap is local. The soap, I don't want to get it from China because of the whole issues of license and stuff.
Sure.
That I will do locally. I've identified one manufacturer. He will do for me 400
ml. That's too high for mold.
Pardon?
For
China it's up to negotiations. You know what happened?
400 shillings, I think it's way so high, way abnormal. It's too high.
The mold would...
Is it metal or plastic?
It's plastic.
Then that's too high.
So the negotiations we were doing were not upfront. You see? Now, if I seek an investment and I'm able to acquire, like I'm requesting from you guys, I would be able to now sit down with these guys and talk.
But you see, you can't come ask for money while you're not sure what you want the money for.
Exactly. It's just for the mold and the fast acquisition of
My take is, I like the idea.
Yes.
Go do your research.
Yeah.
You can come back and we think about it. That's my take.
Okay.
Isaac, from a lady's point of view,
Yes.
I really like your idea.
Thank you.
Cleanliness is very key at home,
Yeah.
and we definitely do not have such in
Yeah.
our residential homes, and we
Yes.
do. Of course, we do the refill. So it's valid, your idea. It's really valid and gonna replace most of the things. What you're talking about, what you're asking, it's it has no basis, no foundation. Someone can tell the 5 billion what you're gonna do with it and how you're rolling it and how taking it to the market. So your idea needs a bit of, just checking it around and making it more clearer. But it's a cool idea.
Yeah, I really want to commend you on making a really nice
Yes.
prototype. It looks really good.
Thank you.
I think what you need to do is more market research. Have some demos out in a couple of places. See if people are willing to pay 1,500 shillings. I get the feeling they will, but you need to do some more market research and know how you're going to penetrate the market, and then also work on your costing. And then we need to see you back soon.
Good. Thank you, Isaac.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right.
Well, thank you so much, Isaac Oro,
Yes.
and we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. It's an awesome experience, let me just say that. I went there, they liked the product just like I thought. So just a few things I need to touch on, which they were really a bit tentative about, but I'm sure this is just the next thing.
It's a bit tense, but I'm expecting the best from the investors because I know this is an opportunity that comes once in a lifetime.
Well, we finally have a lady in our today's
Right.
episode. Her name is Margaret Mwangi with Destiny Mag Enterprises. Welcome to the studio and tell us about your project.
Okay, thank you. My name is Margaret Mwangi from Destiny Mag Enterprise. I'm seeking for 1.5 million for a 30% stake. It is a desire of every parent to provide comfort to the kid, both at home and in school. Therefore, we came up with an idea of providing foldable plastic baby beds for a nursery school, daycares, and that's why we came up with that idea. We are seeking the 1.5 million because we want to supply immediate for like 450 units.
Across the country, or?
No, we want to specify first in Nairobi,
Okay.
and then wings will fly to the rest of the counties. For the 450, we are going to import at a rate of 1.5 million, and we are going to sell each bed at 6,000 Kenyan shillings, making a profit of 1.1. That was on a monthly basis. So in an yearly, we are going to make 13 million.
Wow.
Yes.
And investors, would you like to see the project?
And welcome.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Can I show you the products?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret.
You're welcome. We find that in Kenya, most of the children, they lie on mattresses on the floor back in school, and others, they usually lie on the tables. We find our children are so uncomfortable during the day, even when they are. So the parent feels so uncomfortable when the child is at home, in school. Therefore, we came up with this idea so that we can provide comfort to our children when they are at home. For the plastic beds, you can be able to clean them, unlike the mattresses, whereby you're not able to clean them when the children mess on the mattresses. Because these are small children, and definitely you can't be able to train your child to not mess on the bed at an early age as 3 years. So we find it not convenient to let your baby sleep on a comfortable mattress, whereby you are not able to clean it up. So we came up with this product whereby you can be able to import from China. It is a company that whereby I've gotten an invoices from them. I've been communicating with the company for the last, from July. And I've gotten the orders, but they're saying the schools that I've gotten the orders from, they're telling me I want to see the physical product. And yet I'm not able to, my main challenge is raising the capital. So that's why I came to the investors.
Basically, you need, you're importing these products, and I think you're bringing in 450 units in a container.
Yes.
Okay, and your landed cost is going to be about
Per bed, it's 3,400.
3,400. Really, you need financing, trade financing.
Yes. They can be able to produce 200 per week. So even if I get more orders from schools, I can be able to bring in more.
So
But to
basically,
start
what you're looking for is just financing.
Yes, financing for the 1.5 million for 30% stake.
Have you applied for WESO fund? There's the youth fund for the women, youth, and disabled,
You find
which has a very low interest.
Yes, you find for the youth funds, you're told to come in as a group. Every person you approach is not, they are so much secure with the employment that they're not interested in
How do you
business.
say we?
Who? We? Oh, I am a sole proprietor.
Oh, you're sole proprietor?
Yes, I'm a sole proprietor.
Because I heard you say we came up, we decided, we bringing.
She's speaking in Queen's English.
Yes.
Sorry.
What's the main difference between this and other beds?
It's foldable, it's plastic, so even you at home, you can be able to carry it. When you're going for picnics, you fold it at the behind your boot, and then you go lay it down, and the baby will be so comfortable. You can also be able to clean it, unlike the mattresses and the other mats that they lay down in the schools and
So
other daycares.
It's a plastic bed frame with a mattress. Is that what it is?
Yes,
It has a
it
mattress?
is. It has.
How are you going to sell it? How are you going to get it to the market?
I'm an aggressive marketer.
Okay.
I believe in myself, and I know that, for example, I've approached, I showed the product, but she was like, I want to see the physical product.
Have you
So,
brought any samples?
no, I've not been able to
So
do
all
so,
this
because that
is-
is the minimum they can be able to give an order. So the minimum they can be able to ship in 450.
Minimum.
The minimum.
Okay. Have you thought of producing the beds here?
Yeah, that's my future plan,
What's
because
the
I don't
cost?
want, it can be more cheaper than 3,400.
Then why don't you think of that?
It is a brilliant idea. I thought maybe importing and then I start producing myself.
No. See, for us, if me as an investor,
Yeah.
I'll look at it in the long run.
Yeah.
I don't want to give you money after the first investment. You give me back my money. I'm not a bank. I'm an investor.
Yes.
So I don't want to give you money. You make money, then you say, Steve, I want to be out
Yep.
because I have enough capital to do business now.
Yeah, it is my plan and my future plan to be able to produce them in Kenya. Same to the plastic fashionable tables and the seats for the schools.
Because if you do it here, you've created a business.
Yes.
When you import tomorrow,
Kill.
the same people can, Kenya,
Can
Kenya,
import,
in
yeah,
Kenya,
Kenya.
people love routine.
Yeah.
Now you bring in a new product, after 1 week, you have people with large sums of money
Yeah.
who will
Yeah.
bring more at a cheaper price,
Yeah.
and they will hit you in the market.
True.
But I'm still not clear on how are you going to sell it? What is your marketing? Who are you selling it to? Is it the supermarkets? Is it somebody else? Are you standing on,
No, I'm selling them to kindergartens, institutions like Safaricom. I'm also selling them to daycares. You find that in Kenya, nowadays the career woman is so occupied that they take their children to daycares. And you find in daycares, the children are laying down on the mattresses. So those are my targets.
Margaret,
Yes.
thank you for your presentation. I'm trying to see the difference. You said children lie down on mattresses
Yes.
in daycare, and this bed also has a mattress.
Yes.
This bed, I'm looking at someone who runs a daycare. They have space and they want to get as many kids as possible. How much space is this bed taking compared to just a mattress that they're using on the
The
side?
most advantageous part is that each child will be able to sleep on his own bed. And yet, the space that it occupies is very small because it's a 138 by 58 by 32 centimeters.
What if the child is tall?
It can be adjusted.
and what's the age? What's kind of the maximum age
Can a
for this?
mattress be
The maximum
adjusted?
age is 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah, 7
But
years.
I think what
It's intact. The mattress is intact with the bed.
It's intact.
Yes,
but
it's
what
intact.
Gina's saying
You can't be
is,
able to-
to store 40 mattresses, thin ones, takes
be
very
easy.
little space to store them because the kids don't go and sleep at daycare all day long. So
Yeah.
maybe just nap time, 30 minutes. But to store these plastic things is going to take a lot of space in
No.
the daycare.
No,
And
there's
the
a
visibility.
hole here. There's a hole on the sides, so you can be able to stick them.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about
Just
the
for taking a-
durability?
Pardon?
Durability.
durability. It's really durable because it can accommodate even a 7-year-old child.
But you've not seen it physically.
I've not seen it physically.
Then you have to speak of something you've seen.
Yes.
I think you need to get 1 or 2 samples at least.
Yes.
You know, whether that means getting a friend to bring them from China or getting them to ship them by air or something like that. But you need to get yourself a few samples.
What I go by Mr. Mbogo's idea of producing them in Kenya. That would be a
I think that's
brilliant
the
idea.
brilliant idea.
Yeah, that would be a
That one
brilliant.
will. I promise you, we will come in.
Yeah,
Yeah, making
Work
them
on
here
it.
is
I like the idea,
yeah.
and specifically when you say about daycares, it's everywhere.
Yes.
Even me, maybe my kids will be sleeping in that. You know?
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you so
You
much.
said your name is?
Margaret
Margaret
Mond.
Thank you, Margaret. You need to go back to the drawing board and explore the possibilities about doing local manufacturing and
Yeah.
seeing if that's feasible.
Yeah, okay.
And if it is, then we take it from there.
Thank you so much, Margaret.
Okay,
And
you're
we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
It was tensing at the beginning, but later on we became so friendly. They also gave me more ideas, and we're good to go. They told me yes, and then I should come back with the figures, because the product I wanted to import it, but now we have to make it locally. Yes, I come up with the figures with the local production, so because they want a long-term business.
Well, indeed, in order to get the investors' money, your business idea should be top-notch.
What are your expectations?
To walk out of here with a lot of money to expand this business and to change this country.
Well, thank you so much, Mark, for joining us. Tell us a little bit about Dili Moto.
Dili Moto is an advertising platform that combines e-commerce and traditional advertising and social media advertising to create cheap advertising solutions for SMEs and the smaller business sector in Africa.
All right.
Yes.
And for how long have you been in the market?
We've been in the market for 2 years now.
All right.
As a company, we've existed for 3 years. We've had turnover of 35 million shillings. We've invested over 14 million shillings, and we're planning to expand. So we have some exciting opportunities that we've just started unlocking, and that's why we're here.
Okay, and how much are you looking for?
Well, we're looking for 75 million shillings for 10% of the business.
All right.
Yes.
And investors, are you ready to meet this project?
Thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
All
We are
right.
ready to listen from you.
Thank you so much for your time. My name is Mark Bichachi. I am 31 years old, and I started a company called Daya Consult 3 years ago. And with an investment of 300,000, grew that to a revenue of 35 million over the last 3 years. So I'm here to present our flagship product. It's called Dili Moto. Now, I'll start by saying what the problem is in the market. As we all know, that there are a lot of SMEs registered every year in almost every African country. A lot of these SMEs fail, and they fail for various reasons. The reason we're specifically targeting is the fact that they are unable to raise awareness about their existence, their products, and their services. The reason for that is that marketing and advertising in Africa has remained a game for the big money spenders, creating a vicious cycle where they don't have money, they can't advertise, no one knows about them, and therefore they keep falling into this poverty cycle. So we came up with a copywritten way of taking traditional media, combining it with online media to create very cheap and effective advertising, and I'll show you shortly. So I'd like you to indulge me for a minute. How much is it to advertise a business, all right, on TV, for example, in Kenya, per day?
Maybe $1 million.
$1 million, yes. Yeah. On prime time, it's 1 million shillings. On radio, it comes to around 68,000 on prime time. The least you can get is 12,000 shillings. With our copywritten method, we are able to get that figure on radio down to as little as 2,200 shillings a day.
Prime time?
So,
Prime time?
yes, that's during prime time. But the way we do it is how we mix the advertisements and the deals we get with our media partners. And in Kenya, we have two. big media houses that we've partnered with. Now, what do we do essentially? Essentially, what we have decided to do is to shorten the distance between advertising for SMEs and sales. So what happens is every SME that advertises with us not only gets a chance to advertise on TV, on billboards, on radio, and as well as our website, but they also get to be able to sell their products directly. Now, this is where we are different from a lot of the online listing services, because at the end of the day, the penetration of the internet is still at 16%. But there are a lot of SMEs that want to sell their products. So that distance needs to be shortened. So what happens is if you advertise with us, then the people who see your advertisement are able to purchase from you almost instantly through M-Pesa and our online platforms. This is how our outdoor advertising looks like, and we've partnered with now specifically, this is exciting for us. Imagine you own a butchery in the middle of Kariakor. How many matatus go to Kariakor? Very many. But you can't afford to advertise in every seat in the matatu, okay? Because one, if you advertised in every seat, there'll be too many people. You can only handle about 20 clients. But we are able to sell you one seat in that matatu, okay? So that the frequency to the number of people you're advertising is still there, but you don't still have to spend so much money. So it's quite exciting for us. And then I'll just play you a quick video.
Treat your family to a whole new experience by taking them to Oldonyo-Sukuk Resort, located at the foot of Oldonyo-Sukuk Mountain and National Park. Advertise your business on social media for as low as 16,000 per month. Visit diaconsultltd.com for more. Snack Attack Sarit Center at Adams Arcade offers you a variety of sumptuous meals delivered free to your office. Visit Snack Attack Kenya on Facebook to know more. Dealing Motto. Get hard. Get seen. Get known. Powered by Dia Consult.
So this is the audio, of course, is how it will probably sound on radio, how it has sounded on radio, because we've done this in Kenya and Tanzania before. And then two, the video, that's critical for us. With our experience as online marketers, we've realized that it's enough time to pass a message in 7 seconds on social media. That's the whole premise of Vine. That's the whole premise of Instagram. So we are transforming that tradition onto TV. Right? So we are able to give shorter advertising periods but still being effective. Number two, the cost of producing this advertisement is way, way cheaper than traditional ways of producing advertisements for TV. We as Delimoto offer a 360 solution, a one-stop shop. Not only are we cheap, but you're able to get all of these services at one stop. The other thing that we do with Delimoto as well, and this is exciting, is we do Delimoto partnerships. Now, looking at the Amazon example, we realized that if we can get our own gadgets, our own devices, that then we can load on our applications, then we are able to push content. Example, if you buy our phones, and we have sole distributorship right for Eastern and Western Africa for this particular brand of phones, is you buy our phones and you opt in. You can opt in to get Delimoto deals, or you can opt out. But once the application comes with the phone, but you opt in to receive the advertising. Now, the advertisements we push are specific to discounts and things that add value. So for example, if a supermarket is having a 50% off, that's the kind of content that we'll push, so that we're not boring you with the normal kind of advertising. So it's sort of doing couponing, but via our devices. So I'll just give you a few of our indicators. In the 2 months we did a test in Kenya, we had over 1 million hits on our website. We had over 500 clients advertise with us. We had a page growth of 10,000 likes in the first 3 days when we were pushing it. And turnover in Kenya and Tanzania as a business since 2012 up to the last financial year, which ended in June, we had 35 million shillings, and projections for this year stand at 165 million if we remain doing business. 165 million if we remain doing business as we are. Delimoto is the only one that does TV and radio advertisements. We also do online advertisements, online payments. Some of them do, but we accept that. Capacity, we have unlimited capacity because we do not do deals. We do businesses, and a business exists for a long period of time.
Get into what do you need the money for? How are you going to grow it? What is this phone that you're selling 15,000 units, etc., etc.
What we need the money for.
So far, you've taken longer than everybody else. So we need to. No, it's okay. Don't worry. It was very interesting.
Quite
very
interesting.
Yeah. Very. That's why we're sitting here listening quietly.
Okay.
So this is a good. It's a good sign.
Thanks for the grace extended to me. So now, in a nutshell, I know the rest. I'll just go to that slide there. Essentially, what we're looking for the money to do is the one, we've got the electronics deal, which we want to bring in this electronics. And because of our partnership with media houses, our marketing costs are much, much lower. Number two, we've got the order from him, right? So the first thing we need is to have the money to be able to expand. With the investment of 75 million we're looking for, that is the turnover we would be looking for, right? A turnover of 369 million in the first year.
Indulge me a little bit.
Yes.
What do you need the 75 million shillings for? What are you going to do with it?
Two things. Number one, it's the marketing of the Daily Motor brand. From the experience we had over the last 2 months, is the more we market it, the more people trust it. Number two is to...
Well, you see, your main business is marketing.
Yes.
So why do you need more money?
To market ourselves.
Like approximately how much?
Well, essentially the marketing budget sits at 15 million shillings. That's the total of that 75.
Who are you marketing Daily Motor to? Other businesses?
Yes.
Okay, for them so that they can come and use your services to market themselves.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so it's really business to business marketing.
Yes,
that
exactly.
you need to do. Okay.
That's how it is.
And what else do you need the rest of the money for?
The rest of the money we need for the purchase of the electronics.
Okay. How much?
That's now the 60 million.
This is for your current order?
Yes, for our current order.
So it's working capital.
Yes, it's essentially working capital. What we tried to do is a lot of businesses like us, service industry, it means that a lot of the expenses will go to salaries and things like that.
Right.
But essentially what we want to do with the investment we get is to put it where we know.
You know, the beauty about what you were doing and what you are doing now is that you were in the business of selling, you know, human capital and charging for it.
Yes.
Now you're selling goods and services. You're becoming a distributor. Before you were actually providing a service.
Yes.
And so you're actually kind of pivoting your company, or you're adding a completely different dimension, which needs a completely different skill set.
Yes.
But who is this electronics manufacturer?
Okay, the company is called Best in Hong Kong. They're certified by both Microsoft and Google.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're mid-level and low-level phones and electronics. Essentially, they have TVs, laptops, phones, and tablets.
And what's the cost of one?
One unit landed in Kenya should be about 9,000 shillings.
It's very high.
It's.
That's high.
Yeah, I mean, there's Jumia selling units right now that are $50–60,
yes,
5–6,000 shillings. They're
yes,
selling very well.
Yes, the product I'm talking about for 9,000 is our mid-level product. We have a product for as low as 4,500 shillings. Yes, and so that's a fully.
Let's stick with your core business. 35 million shillings in revenue.
Yes.
Is that your billables, including what you paid out to your media partners? That's your gross billables?
Yes.
So what was your margin? How much did you make?
Our margin is always at 30%. That's what we've managed.
So that's about
the
10
first,
million.
yeah, the first year 26%, the next year 28%. This year we are.
And how many people do you have on staff?
We have 12 people in Kenya, 12 people in Tanzania.
Okay, and why aren't you focusing more on the growth of that business?
We are, because there are two aspects of the business. Number one, the electronics is something that we are bringing in to push our content. So we have devices to push our content. That's our key, is to have people with our content in the region.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I think you need to focus on one and not the other. You know, you're going to sell 5, 10, 15, 20, 50,000 phones. Big deal. There's 30 million people in this country.
Yeah.
You know, what are you going to put your content on 30,000 phones, 100,000 phones? You know, the hardware business is a tough business. I mean, I'm an investor in one of the largest computer retailers in the country right now in East Africa, and it's a very tough margin business. Very low margin.
And the competition.
The competition is extremely high. Tomorrow, some other manufacturer comes out. Your vendors don't pay you. Rather, your customers don't pay you. Credit is tough. You know, you're in a completely different ballgame. There's no way you're making anywhere close to 30%. And you're actually your core business that you've been doing for the last 3 years is something that there isn't that much competition out there right now. You're providing a good product. It looks like you've a good service. It looks like you found a way to make it cost effective for your customers. You need to focus. The biggest issue or the biggest thing that entrepreneurs need to do is focus. Focus on what you're good at and do it better and keep doing it. Keep doing it. Don't keep pivoting. And I just get the feeling that, you've got this deal that, doesn't seem to kind of add up to me. Look, I like what you're talking about. I think that there's a little bit of fuzziness in the numbers. There needs some more clarity. I think we need to understand these things a little better. You need to understand them a little better.
Okay.
We need, the things you're saying are not adding up.
Oh, okay.
Your gross margin, your net margin. What about your SGA costs? This whole thing is not adding up. So we need to let you revisit it, or at least I do. I'm very interested, but I think you need to revisit your numbers and focus your business. Stick with where you're good at, where you have a track record, right, and build upon that. If you look around you at every successful businessman or businesswoman, for that matter, one thing I've noticed when they're successful is they have been doing the same thing for a very long time. They don't keep changing around, and so to me that focus is really critical. So for now, I'm out until you rework your numbers and develop some more clarity.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mark. The 10,000 hour rule.
Huh?
The 10,000 hour rule by Malcolm Gladwell
Yes,
says that
yes.
it takes 10,000 hours.
To be good at something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think you found your market, your niche, and you're passionate about it. I recommend you keep doing it until one day, one time, you're the big boss. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mark, my take is clearly your idea is interesting. And at first when you started talking about the service, I was more interested into that.
Okay.
And you requiring 75 million, that's about $750,000. It's not something we can put in if you're not sure on the market.
Okay.
Now, we understand quite well about the IT sector and the market as well. So my take is I'll want to have a look at the proposal again.
Okay.
And you work on it as Farouk has said, because the figures, there's something about the figures which is not clicking right to me as well.
Okay.
You see, it's not about the money. It's about creating the system that will work for us.
Okay.
If you have to put in money, it's all about system creation and formulation.
Okay.
So as at now, I'll say I'm out, but we like the idea. Personally, I like the idea as well. You can revisit it, look at it, and basically, you shouldn't have, it's not a must for you to start with that big lump sum capital. When we talk of 75 million, it's a huge amount, 750,000. Maybe you can decide and start small, try the market, see how it works. Then we can grow to the next level.
Well, you made 9 or 10 million shillings over 3 years, which is roughly 3 million shillings a year in profit. And you're telling me you're worth 750 million? I mean, even Microsoft has a lower PE than that. And they've been around for a very long time and probably one of the largest companies in the world. So, this valuation that you're coming up with doesn't add up.
Well, thank you so much. It's a brilliant idea, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
All right.
That was one of the most grueling interviews I've ever had the pleasure of attending, but it was informative. I've been asked to rework my papers.
I'd like to know, what are the judges looking for exactly, because we've not received any yet.
We are not just here to give money. We want to be part of the business. And for us to be part of the business, it has to conform with what we understand business is.
All right.
Money is not the issue. The issue is how, when, and for what the money is needed.
Okay. Thank you so much. As a mentor.
Yes. Thank you so much. As a mentor, and looking at the people who have come here before to do the presentations, I've noticed lack in terms of packaging and in terms of being able to project what they want to do. They have good and brilliant ideas, but they're not able to bring them out well.
All right.
We seem not to know what it is in terms of valuing the business that you're talking about.
Okay.
So there's so much that's needed to be done in the background in terms of preparing to come and sell your idea.
All right. Thank you so much. And finally, Mr. Farouk.
So I think we've come pretty close to saying yes a couple of times, but like my two fellow investors have said, that there seems to be, in certain cases, the numbers don't seem to add up, and there needs to be more preparation. The products are good, the services are good, the ideas are great, and our objective here is not just to provide capital, but to provide strategic advice to help these businesses grow, create more jobs, and help build our economy.
Well, that's it for now. Next week on the Boiler Room.
There's that gap that is there where farmers do not have the technical know-how on hatching the fish. So we cannot use the city council water. We need to get the borehole water.
It sounds like you've just started the hatching fingerling business, which is different from, you know, raising full-size fish for retail.
What I'm trying to ascertain is basically, are you looking into going into large-scale fish farming, or are you looking into fingerlings?
It's a good business. I think we want to see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I'm definitely interested.
The solution we're offering is we are allowing our customer to be able to get the goods they want where they're seated by not going online, maybe searching for what they want. Our system is short and fast.
So whose money is buying the product?
We are buying the product.
So you're telling me that you're worth 8 million shillings?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you haven't done any real sales with any real customers?
For me, as of now, I'm out.
That anyone, say a person selling kales in the evening is able, or she is able to account for her money and bank it correctly. And at the end of the week or the month, she can get financial statements. So that is what our software does.
If you tell me you're going to do something very different, then it can make sense.